When you hear about Africa in the news, it's often about crisis and problems. But did you know there's a 36-year-old leader rewriting that story? His name is Ibrahim Traoré, a young military captain from Burkina Faso, who rose to power and quickly became a symbol of hope for millions. Today, I'll share with you 9 unbelievable facts about Ibrahim Traoré that you'll hardly ever hear in the mainstream media. So, let's begin. Fact number 1. The youngest leader in the world. The first fact is truly surprising. Ibrahim Traoré is the youngest head of state in the world. When he took power in 2022, he was only 34 years old. To understand this better, at that same time, US President Joe Biden was 80, France's Emmanuel Macron was 44, and Russia's Vladimir Putin was 70. Because of his young age, Traoré quickly became a symbol for Africa's huge young population, where the average age is just 19. For them, he is not just a politician, he is someone they can actually connect with. And here's the interesting part. His rise also gave hope to millions of young people across the globe. It showed them that even at a young age, leadership and change are truly possible. Fact number 2. Inspired by Thomas Sankara. The second fact. Ibrahim Traoré openly calls himself a follower of Thomas Sankara, the revolutionary leader of Burkina Faso in the 1980s, often called the Che Guevara of Africa. Sankara was known for fighting corruption, rejecting foreign control, and promoting self-reliance for Africa. Western media often described him as a radical, but for the people, Sankara was a hero. By following Sankara's footsteps, Traoré has built a similar reputation, a young leader challenging outside influence and speaking directly to the youth. This comparison makes him very popular inside Africa, but it also makes Western powers uneasy. For many Africans, Traoré feels like Sankara's legacy reborn, and it shows. History has a way of repeating itself when strong leaders rise.
Produit suffisamment de quoi nous nourrir. Nous pouvons dépasser même notre production, malheureusement. Par manque d'organisation, nous sommes encore obligés de tendre la main pour demander des aides alimentaires. Ces aides alimentaires qui nous bloquent, qui nous inspirent, qui installent dans nos esprits cette habitude, ces réflexes de mendiants. Nous devons mettre de côté ces aides par notre grande production. Il faut réussir à produire plus. Produire plus. Produire plus parce que il est normal que celui qui vous donne à manger vous dicte également.
Fact number 3. He rose to power through a coup, but with massive public support. Unlike many leaders who rise through long political campaigns, Traoré's rise was sudden. In September 2022, he led a coup against the ruling junta in Burkina Faso. But here's the part that Western media often ignores. This coup was actually welcomed by many citizens. Why? Because people had lost trust in the previous government, which failed to stop extremist attacks and widespread corruption. Traoré's military background, combined with his promise of real change, turned him into a hero almost overnight. Crowds didn't fill the streets to protest against him. They came out to celebrate his arrival. Fact number 4. He rejected France's military presence. For decades, France maintained military troops in Burkina Faso under the justification of fighting terrorism. But many citizens saw this as a form of neo-colonial control. Here's the shocking fact. Within just months of coming to power, Traoré ordered French troops to leave the country. This was a bold and risky move because France had deep influence in West Africa for many years. Yet, Traoré stood firm. He believed Burkina Faso must take control of its own security without relying on a former colonial power. This decision inspired other African nations to start questioning foreign military presence too, making Traoré a symbol of sovereignty. And what's more interesting, his bold stand quickly made him popular not just in Burkina Faso, but across many African youth movements. For them, Traoré represents a new era of leaders, unafraid to challenge old powers. Fact number 5, he turned to Russia for support. Another fact that Western media rarely highlights. After distancing from France, Traoré turned his attention east toward Russia. He welcomed Russian advisors and military cooperation, including reports of Wagner Group presence. For the West, this was alarming, a clear sign of losing influence in Africa. But for many Africans, Russia's involvement is viewed as an alternative partnership that does not carry colonial baggage. Whether this strategy benefits Burkina Faso in the long run is still uncertain. But one thing is clear: Traoré has shifted the balance of power in the region. This showed the world that Africa is no longer tied to one side, but is seeking multiple voices at the global table. And this choice not only reshaped Burkina Faso's image, it also encouraged other African nations to rethink who their real partners could be. Fact number 6, he promotes Pan-African unity. Another fact Western media rarely highlights. After distancing Burkina Faso from France, Traoré turned his attention toward new partners, including Russia. He welcomed Russian advisors and military cooperation, with reports suggesting a presence of Wagner Group operatives. For Western nations, this shift was seen as concerning, since it signaled a loss of influence in Africa. But for many Africans, Russia's involvement is viewed as a fresh partnership without the same colonial history attached to it. Whether this strategy brings long-term benefits to Burkina Faso is still uncertain. Yet it clearly shows that Traoré has changed the regional dynamics. In fact, his approach has sparked debates across Africa, as more countries consider diversifying their international alliances. This demonstrates a bigger trend: Africa aiming to define its own path in global politics. Fact number 7, a leader tested by challenges. Here's something unbelievable. Despite his popularity among citizens, Traoré is one of the most targeted leaders in Africa. Powerful foreign interests, armed extremist groups, and even internal rivals would prefer to see him gone. Yet, he continues to appear in public rallies, dressed not in luxury suits, but in simple military fatigues, symbolizing that he is one of the people. His courage in the face of danger has only increased his reputation as a fearless leader. Supporters often say, he is ready to die for Burkina Faso. Fact number 8, he rejects lavish lifestyle of politicians. Unlike many leaders who live in palaces and travel in private jets, Traoré is often seen in his army uniform, using simple vehicles and spending time directly with ordinary citizens. He avoids the lavish lifestyle that comes with power, making him look more like a servant of the people rather than a ruler above them. This attitude connects deeply with Africans who are tired of corruption and distant elites. Another quality that stands out is his communication style. Traoré speaks openly and clearly with the youth, making them feel included in shaping the nation's future. Fact number 9, a global symbol of independence and change. Today, Ibrahim Traoré is not just the leader of Burkina Faso. He has become a symbol across Africa and even beyond. Young Africans see him as proof that a new generation of leaders can rise, challenge the old powers, and take bold steps toward independence. His speeches are widely shared on social media. His story is discussed by activists and political thinkers, and his name is mentioned alongside historic figures who fought against colonial rule. Western governments may criticize him, but for millions of Africans, he represents hope, courage, and resilience. And whether people agree with his methods or not, one thing is clear: Traoré has changed the global conversation about Africa's future. So these were 9 unbelievable facts about Ibrahim Traoré that Western media often won't tell you, whether you see him as a hero or as a controversial figure. One thing is clear: he has shaken the political order, not only in Burkina Faso, but across Africa. Leaders like him remind us that the world is changing, and new voices are rising to demand justice, sovereignty, and unity. What do you think about Ibrahim Traoré? Is he truly the symbol of African freedom, or is he taking risks that could backfire? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you found this video eye-opening, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss our deep dives into world politics.